Yoga Wine. Welcome to my podcast. This is Valerie Hale. And I just was listening to Mary Morrissey, one of my mentors. Do you know your words have a certain vibration? What does that conjure to your mind? One of the things she pointed out to us is there's a scale of your words and the kind of vibration they send to other people. For example, let's say on the bottom of the scale, being sad and being depressed are two of the lowest of the vibrations. Therefore, if you're feeling sad and depressed, you're attracting more sadness and more depression to you. Whereas higher on that scale of words and the power that they emote would be happiness, grateful, generous, laughing. All of those words bring more abundance to you. One of her other lessons, she talked to us about bringing more laughter into your life. And my other podcast talks about this too. How do you bring more laughter into your life during a pandemic? You're thinking, are you crazy, Valerie? No, but I do operate on that level of vibration, that it is important, even in a pandemic, to be grateful for what we already have in our lives. Now, I know that millions of us, are without any kind of an income, and it's getting to the point where many of us, millions again, are facing food insecurity. We're facing absolutely no income. And one of the things I talk about in another podcast is how to work from home. I was in the wine and spirits industry for 24 years, and I just had this intuition that it was time to stop driving 1,000 miles a week to make a living. And I started looking at work from home websites. If you go to my website, shayvalerie.us, you'll see one of the podcasts specifically talks about work from home websites. But you could also send me an email and I'll help you with your research because I have worked with a lot of them. However, I also realized something that Mary Morrissey points out. What would you really love? I love public speaking. Now, I'm getting too old to travel the world. I'm in my 60s. I did that when I was in the wine and spirits industry. I don't want to repeat that lifestyle. And it's one of the reasons I started this podcast. But I thought it would be fun to show people that wealth really is not about what's in our bank account. It's a mindset. And that's why I point out to you in this segment on wealth that the words that you use emote a vibration. That vibration is going to attract to you what you're feeling. How to change that immediately is to start a journal, a grateful and affirmation journal. Just start with 5 things every day or 3 things every day. It takes me about an hour now to write about what I'm grateful for because I am bringing the future into my life. Therefore, I say that I am very happy and grateful that all my property in New York sold because let me tell you, folks, that is my big dream and it is going to happen. It's taken longer than I want, but that's because the universe is working its magic. As I mentioned, to start feeling grateful, write this down. It makes a really strong connection to what you want and to what you're going to get. Yoga. I have been studying Kundalini Yoga for over 25 years now. We just did a Kriya, a set, like an exercise for 2 hours on the new moon. And this also is important for your vibration. When you meditate, when you do yoga, it connects you to the very basic realities of everyday life. When you can connect to the moon cycle, it will bring certain important things into your life. The new moon is all about new beginnings. When we finished our set, Hariprakaash is my virtual teacher, and she said, now you have to go wash your hair, you have to take a shower, take a bath, you have to wash all your clothes. She said, you have to start anew. And that's important to know. She also is a proponent of these strong, powerful words that emote a vibration and attract to you. And what she has taught us to do is to always say the word victory. Have it be an internal mantra where you're always saying to yourself, victory, victory, victory. And one of my affirmations when I do yoga in the morning is I write victory, and then I also write how much I want my property to sell for. I put the address. I see exactly when we're going to close. And I just keep saying victory. That's what you want to start bringing into your life. I know it's going to feel weird and funky and like you're lying to yourself because this is a pandemic, but do it because you're going to change the vibration in your life. You're going to see little by little these incremental positive changes when you change the words that you use, the vibration that you're emoting. You're going to bring more positive things into your life. Trust me, I have seen it in just 2 years being down in Florida. That was one of my big dreams was to get out in New York. Thank God, because they just had 18 inches of snow. But it won't take 2 years to see these small incremental changes. They'll happen on a weekly, daily basis. Not big ones, but they can come too. Wine. When we talk about the moon and how it affects our life, also affects crops. I volunteer for the Gulfport Garden, and this was a godsend for me. The funny thing is I know a lot of the people from New York. I was in a dance community up there, and it was nice to just stroll into our community garden and say, well, hi, George. Hi, Vivi. I already knew quite a few people. The blessing, I am a vegetarian. The blessing of volunteering for this garden is the time that you put in, you get paid back in vegetables. And what we don't use, we volunteer to the senior center. So it's a very nice cyclical environment where we're helping ourselves, we're helping the community. Obviously, everything's organic. Vintners, especially those in France, practice biodynamic farming. Biodynamic farming is complicated, but the basis is they are planting, they're pruning, they're harvesting, they're cultivating by the cycles of the moon. And the new moon is when you do plant certain things that are just going to grow above ground. Lettuce, tomatoes, vines. The French, as I mentioned, are very big proponents practicing biodynamics. And those of you who've listened to my other podcasts, or if you've visited my website, I'm a Francophile. I love everything French. I love French wines. I love France. I was married to a Frenchman. However, to help you out over the holidays, if you're going to stay with domestic wines, I love Robert Zinsky. I love Gurgich. I love ZD wines. Matthiasen is amazing. All these guys really do practice biodynamic, even though they don't put it on their website. I know them. I have worked with them. If you need more help buying wines, send me an email at shezvalerie.us, CHEZ Valerie.us, and I'll be more than happy to help you with your wine buying over the holidays. Au revoir.